what's going on, guys? Ray Yerg's back here. Another episode of the Third and Long Pick Six Show recap edition. You may notice that we have a little bit different of a studio going on here today. Yep, that's right. We are moved into master bedroom because I have in-laws visiting from Florida. So my in-laws are in town. And, they stay downstairs where my studio and my desk area and everything is. But all's good. They're visiting for Thanksgiving with the kids, having a little bit of fun. So it's all good. So we make do what we can here. Kind of like to set up a little bit more, to be honest. A little bit more quaint, maybe? I don't know. But nonetheless, it's a little bit more interesting, right? Anyways, enough blabbing on that one. Let's get right into the recap show. Another struggling week this week. Yes, I take full responsibility for that. That is another 2 and 4 week struggle. Sometimes it looks good about, halfway through the fourth quarter on most games, but can't close and get those picks. But that puts us at, 27, 31, and 2 on the season. As I stated, we will finish above 500 and we will finish with profit. I guarantee it. We will get there. We have plenty of weeks left. Let's just keep grinding, okay? Before I get into it, don't forget to follow me at The Real Ray Yergs on Twitter, YouTube. Don't forget that notification bell and that like button. Your support helps grow the channel and gets that out there. So I really appreciate it. So don't forget to do that, all right? We'll get right into it. Go through a couple of quick things. I got a little bit on my list here, so that way we get right into it. As I mentioned, another struggling week, but the Bucks, they don't struggle in Germany. They get the victory against the Seahawks, a much needed victory for the Buccaneers to get back on the winning track. Tom Brady looking pretty good. Tough loss for the Seahawks, but it puts them to 6-4. But as I said, Bucks get a much needed victory, get back to that 500 mark at 5-5, trying to take big time control of that division, which looks like they seem that they're in the driver's seat, cruising down at about 60 miles an hour on the highway while everybody else is still back at the start-finish line. So they look good. Nothing more you can say there. Interesting game, nonetheless, in Germany. The foreign games to me kind of, I don't know. It's hit or miss with me sometimes. Do I like it? Do I think it's cool? I don't know. We'll see what they're going for. It looks like they're trying to get more, games in Spain now and France. So, NFL's king, so they make a ton of money no matter what, so it doesn't matter. On the flip side of the Bucks, another team that gets a big-time victory, Packers. Yeah, the Packers. As I stated last week, that we weren't going to be on them at all. We weren't going to be... They were in my rearview mirror, and it comes back to bite me in the ass because I took the Cowboys, and the Packers prevailed. Cowboys were up by 14. They blow that lead. Then they're driving down the field, thinking that they're going to score a touchdown in overtime. They blow that one as well. Packers march down the field in the other direction, kick a game-winning field goal, and another gut-wrenching loss for the Cowboys against the Packers. Not sure what the Packers... the Cowboys can do there against the Packers. It's just unbelievable. But Watson looked great coming out game maybe for wide receiver for Aaron Rodgers, 3 touchdowns. Is he going to be his new go-to guy? He definitely earned Rodgers' trust in that situation since he went to him many times throughout the game. So like I said, does he earn the trust? I think so. Keep an eye on him going forward. Looked really, really good. And the Packers tore apart a great Cowboys defense. Key factor in that game, Micah Parsons was nowhere to be found. Seems to be that is the big-time difference maker when the Cowboys defense is good or not good. So, Packers get a much-needed victory. They move to 4-6. They're going to try and sneak in the back door of the playoffs here. And, if they can get right on the wide receiver front, maybe my Super Bowl pick doesn't look too bad after all. That's a bad joke. Don't take that seriously. Or is it? Anyways, Vikings-Bills, best game, hands down, of the season. What a tremendous back and forth that was. Bills, had a big time lead. They blow the lead. Vikings, they had multiple opportunities. I don't know what the Bills were thinking of that QB sneak on that goal line stance. Listen, whether you think Kirk Cousins was in or not on that stand, okay, some angles it looks like he was in, some angles it looks like he wasn't in. Hard to make the definite determination that he was in or not. So it could be called on the field stand. So, but when you're in that situation, you botch the fumble. But what were they thinking of trying to QB sneak it in the first place? Just hand the ball off and get the run. Even if you give up the safety, who cares? That had to be the worst outcome of that situation, and it came to fruition for the Bills. But then they march down, they get a game time field goal, they go to overtime, they get the defensive stand, only giving up a field goal. Then they drive down the field again, trying to win it, but Josh Allen forcing the ball too many times into Vikings coverage, and it just bit him in the ass. Not once, twice, three times, bit him in the ass where you get an interception and that game over. But as I said last week, if you remember, I said last week, the Bills' mid-season woes, the trend continues. The issues continue in the mid-season. They fall to 6-3. They not only fall to 6-3, they fall from the 1 seed to the 6th seed in an instance. I told you, if you remember the conversation of the recap show last week, I'm going to reiterate it again. AFC East in the comments. See the comments down? Go into the comments. Tell me who you like and why you think they're going to win. Is it going to be the Bills? Is it going to be the Dolphins, the Pats, or the Jets? Who's going to win the AFC East? Because this is a hot topic, in my opinion, 2 weeks in a row. It's going to continue. It's going to be a grind all the way, and we're going to see what happens going forward. Last but not least, before we get into all you've been waiting for, which is the power rankings, got to talk about my Colts. Don't know how they got the victory, but they got a victory with all the mess that they had last week with the firing of Frank Reich, hiring Jeff Saturday. Who's going to be calling the plays? Who's going to be the quarterback? Not sure if Jonathan Taylor is going to be a factor. What's going on with the organization? Are they tanking? So many questions, yet they get a victory for Jeff Saturday. Matty Ice comes in, has a pretty good game. All of a sudden, his shoulder looked like, whoo, pretty good. But also it looked like Michael Vick running out there too on one of those plays. But big, man, I don't know if that's a big victory or a bad victory for the Colts, because in my opinion, I think it's a bad victory. Because I'm shooting for a pick at this point, but they go to 4-5-1, and it's like, I don't know. Are they still in the playoff hunt for some odd reason? Could they pull off 6 straight wins? Who the frick knows? I don't know. It's funny to see. We'll take the victory, but more on the flip side of that coin is that the Raiders yet again have another loss. They fall to 2-7 on the season. Josh McDaniels has been told that he is going to remain the coach, but that is always the first sign of him getting fired. Is Josh McDaniels going to prevail through the rest of the season? Is he going to be the coach of the Raiders through the season? Again, in the comments, tell me if you think that that's true or not, and if not, is he going to go to the Pats? All right, real quick before we get into the power rankings. Again, don't forget to go follow me at The Real Ray Yergs. It's most important. I can reiterate one more time. Make sure you hit that like button, okay? Give me some support. Show some love, all right? Power rankings. Chiefs, number 1. They move up a spot. Vikings, 2. They move up a spot. Giants cracking the top 5. Into the 3rd spot. Eagles at the 4th spot, dropping 4 spots with a tough loss against Washington last night. They looked pretty bad against a mediocre team, so they're going to have the biggest hit of that. Undefeated season no more. 72 Dolphins continue to drink Hennessy, and cheers to that for them. And at number 5, we actually have a 2-way tie at number 5. Ravens are dropping them a spot from 4th to 5th from last week, but the Bills are dropping 3 spots, and they are tied for 5th in my power rankings. One more. Chiefs, Vikings, Giants, Eagles, Ravens, Bills tied at the 5th spot. They are top 3 teams to keep an eye on going into next week. Pats with a bye week, but Got to see if they get another victory. They're cracking that top 10 right there. They're looking pretty strong the last couple of weeks. Jets still, they're going to be they're cracking my top 10 as well. Got to keep an eye on them, like to see where they're going, especially since given the AFC East. It's crazy. Top 3 that's not mentioned on here, that's 2 teams. I do have the Dolphins as a side note because of how strong they've been playing. So they're right behind the Bills and Ravens in the 5th spot there for the power rankings. But the third team that is on the rise, watch for San Francisco, like what they did against the Chargers on Sunday night as they dominated them at home. So that puts them back to 5-5, puts them within a game of Seattle, who, if you remember, was on my radar last week. Tough loss going this week. So San Francisco looks good trying to get back to that NFC West division lead. All right. That is it for today's shows. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to tune in on Saturday for Week 11 picks. Yes, Week 11 picks. That will drop on Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys.